Bienvenidos a esta clase virtual de Inglés en Acción 2, etapa 3, en la cual estaré explicando los temas de Present Perfect, Past Perfect, Time Order Sign-offs, and Process Paragraph. A continuación, estaré explicando los siguientes temas. Okay, we have the first topic, Present Perfect, and I'm going to explain the grammar structure. But first we need to know how to use the auxiliary have and the auxiliary has. For the pronoun I, you, we, and they, we are going to use the auxiliary have. And for the pronoun he, she, it, we're going to use the auxiliary has. For an affirmative sentence, first we have the subject, have or has, the verb in past participle time, and the complement. For a negative sentence, we have subject, the auxiliary have or has, the word not, the verb in past participle time, and the complement. For a question, first we're going to start with the auxiliary have or has, the subject, the verb in past participle time, the complement, and the question mark. Then we have a definition of a present perfect. It's an action that completes the past with a present result. For example, we can find our luggage. Have you seen it? So the luggage was lost in the past. Do you know where it is now? Number 2. Unspecified point in the past. For example, I have been to Spain 3 times. So at some unspecified time in the past, I went to Spain. Number 3. Talking about general experience. In this case, we're going to use ever and never. So it usually refers to an event happening at some moment in your life. For example, has she ever seen the Eiffel Tower? So in this case refers to her life, okay? I've never been to London. So in this case refers to my life. Number 4, events that recently occurred. We're gonna use the word just. For example, do you want to go to a restaurant with me? No thanks, I've just eaten lunch. So in this case, I recently ate lunch. Number 5, events that have not occurred up to now. In this case, we're gonna use the word yet. Are Carlos and Rodrigo here? No, they haven't arrived yet. So in this case, they're still not here now. Number 6, events that occur before you expect. In this case, we're gonna use the word already. For example, I've already graduated from university, so I expect to graduate at a later date. And the last one, the number 7, events that began in the past and haven't changed. In this case, we're gonna use for and since. For is about, we mentioned the period of time of a situation, and since we mentioned the point of time when a situation starts. For example, Mike has worked at Woodward for 3 years. So Mike started working at Woodward 3 years ago, and he still works there now. Okay? Then we have Julie has worked at Woodward since September last year. So Julie began working at Woodward in September of last year, and that hasn't changed. She still works here now. So here we have some short activities to practice what explained recently. You can write in your notebook. So then we have the next topic, past perfect. So I'm going to explain the grammar structure, but first we need to know the auxiliary. In this case, we're going to use the auxiliary had for all the pronouns. We have I, you, he, she, it, we, and they, and we're going to use the auxiliary had. For an affirmative sentence, we have the subject, the auxiliary had, the verb in past participle time, and the complement. For a negative sentence, we have the subject, the auxiliary had, then we're going to add the word not. Then we have the verb in past participle time and the complement. For a question, first we're going to start with the auxiliary had, then we have the subject, the verb in past participle time, the complement, and the question mark. Then we have the definition of a past perfect. We use the past perfect for actions complete before a specific moment in the past. For example, she had finished her training by 2 p.m. yesterday. So in this sentence, we are mentioning the specific moment in the past, okay? If you can see, we have the structure, the subject, the auxiliary had, the verb in past participle, and the complement. Then we have the next definition, complete events or actions in the past that happened before other events or action in the past. For example, before we arrived, the play had already begun. So in this case, before arriving at the play, the friends went somewhere, and this is the reason why the play had already started. Okay? And we have a short activity to practice what explained recently. So you can write in your notebook in this part. We have the next topic, time order signals. It's about the order in which events happen, so they allow reader to understand a sequence. In this part, we have some examples of sentence connectors that are used in the process paragraph. For example, first, then, now, and we have others like the first step, the next step, the final step. Okay? So here we have an example of how to do something using the sentence connector. So in this part we have first, following that, and finally. So time order signals establish clarity in our writing and take readers on a clear and cohesive journey. So these words work in academic writing, fiction writing, professional writing, and technical writing. Okay? To practice what I recently explained, you need to answer the activity on page 107 of your book. So on the cover of the book have pencils. Okay? We have the next topic, is about process paragraph. So a process paragraph does two things. Number one, direction by telling someone how to do something. And number two, giving information about how some process was or is to be complete. To explain how to do or make something clearly, you need to break the process down into a series of steps and explain each step. For example, how to prepare for a job interview, how to change a flat tire, or how to make pasta. So what are the characteristics of a good process paragraph? About what I mentioned recently. So do you know? Okay. We have the number one, is a process paragraph begins with a topic sentence that names the topic and tell the reader to look for a process or procedure. The number two is about the supporting sentence, are the steps and details about each step. Okay? And the number three, the concluding sentence can be the last step or it can give the results. So in a process paragraph, you arrange the steps in order by time and use time order signals to guide your reader from step to step. Okay? So in the same book, on page 103, you need to read the model in Press for Success and then answer the three questions about the model on page 104. In this part, we have the learning evidence, stage 3. You need to work in teams. With your team, read the corresponding rubric for this activity so you know what you are expected to do in this task. The evaluation criteria in the rubric are going to be considered when checking your work. Complete the outline provided on page 85 so you can organize your ideas. Follow the paragraph structure starting in class. Write a title for the text. Type it in a Word document and attach it in the corresponding place, including the team members' names and group. Upload the document to the Nexus platform in a PDF format. So for this stage 3 evidence, you need to choose a topic about how to do something by following the steps I mentioned in the previous topics. Okay? And to practice the topics that I mentioned recently, you need to answer the page 73, 75, 77, and 79. Y para terminar, recordar los temas vistos, el cual fue el Present Perfect, Past Perfect, Time Order Signs, and Process Paragraph. También recordarles su evidencia de aprendizaje, la cual deberán subir a la plataforma de Nexus para que estén al pendiente de las fechas. Espero esta clase virtual les haya sido de mucha ayuda. Nos vemos, chicos.